All right, so we are back. It's still incredibly warm here in Tirana. Um, we are back with another of these Qasr Ibrim fragments. And this time we're going to look at like this little part here, which my colleague Adam Łajtar has identified as Psalm 45, 2 till 3, verses 2 and 3. I think he initially also thought that there was verse 1 here, but I think the whole thing starts at verse 2. This, in contrast with the Exodus fragment that we discussed a few days ago, this text is fully bilingual, which means that we have an alternating Greek or Nubian text in which the verses are in both languages. So that gives us a little bit more of a grip on the text. As you can see here, Adam has already made a preliminary transcription of this part. Agatha, my colleague Agatha Deptua, wrote me separately indicating that this, that there is this large initial tau here, which is really, really nice. You don't see that very often, actually, we don't often have such, margin beautifully left. So you can see here this beautiful tau shape that's here at the beginning of Tila Lo. Then let's have a look. It starts with an invocation. In Greek here, this hoteos hemon katafuge kai dynamis. So that's up to here, basically. And then in Old Nubian, we have also the same construction, but with a predicate marker in lieu of the vocative. So we have hoteos here with a focus marker, then a word that most likely translates katafuge, then on and dynamis toeka, and then our. Obviously, then that's here. Let's zoom in a bit, but our here is un. This is also well readable, and then this should be an alpha here. Again, predicate marker and genitive, so our. Then we're stuck with this beautiful word here. There definitely should be an alpha here at the very end, because this ends in a predicate marker, just like tila, toeka, and una. And then it's a little bit less clear what should be here. This is a triangular shape. It may very well be that this is again another delta. Katafuga has not been attested otherwise, so we have this tilil lambda. Tilil lo. There we go. Lambda, lambda, alpha, lambda, omega. I would be tempted to have something like to read a mu there. So it has been attested. Oh, this is nice. So, okay. So something similar has been attested in in PQI 2:12 to 11. Okay, so starting with mu. This could be a mu. Alpha nu delta. And then two letters again, then delta. Alpha nu delta, two letters delta. This may be a double delta. I'm just gonna. Alright, so we have these guys here in 13. Just possibly related to refuge. Based on a single occurrence. And PQI 212. That's also a psalm, by the way, so it probably uses again Gata Fuga. Is expected here. So we have Till for God. With predicate marker alpha. Oh. And focus marker possible. This is coordinator and TOEIC. It's power. Un is it inclusive or exclusive? I always forget. I think it's exclusive. I always forget. I thought it was first plural exclusive. Where are these stupid personal pronouns? Exclusive. Okay, I'm not completely idiotic. One person exclusive personal pronoun with genitive. Okay. Translate Greek. That's line 13. Okay. And then for that entire construction, with the predicate marker, there should be some nice parallels. Let's see. Okay, so this is now nicely done. Then we have this sentence here. A help in the afflictions that have come heavily upon us. A help in the afflictions that Um, so this is kren, tauklo, or maybe tauklo here in the time. So this is the verb kir, to come. So this is a subordinate clause here. Upon us. This continues actually, by the way, the appellation of God, so we expect this to be an alpha. This is a pretty legible alpha. Tug delta una, so like our. This is nothing. Tug delta una. Our helper, our help in the afflictions that have come upon us heavily. Mic'd is affliction, obviously. Starts here. Mic to. I mean, you would think mic to gu. This should be a plural, I think. Mic to. Omicron epsilon gamma omicron epsilon. Gamma is legible, partially the hook. Omicron no. Epsilon mark to go. This is part of the epsilon here. It's like this little. Oh no, that's too big. Mark to. But why would that be accusative? Let's first look at this mic. We have a attestation. Yeah, affliction. We don't have this attested in plural, but it is clearly plural here. Mic to. Yeah, this looks like a kappa. Toen. First, let's look at this tableau usage to understand exactly. As until because I don't. Kren tauklo. This is just not really attested otherwise. Tauklo. Omega here. Then 2 slashes. Then there is still space. This is only the alpha of dia 22. And then what is this tune? I mean, my interpretation would be in the time that. And we have seen this type of construction also with place. Actually. And then the relative clause precedes. Where did I talk about this? Preceding relative clauses. I would think it's under subordination. Like as in the place that. I am so sure that I've seen this before, but then I can't remember where that is. There we go. It must be under relative clauses. Attributive relative clauses, place, time, and manner. That's the, I think, the section where I read about this type of thing. There we go. That's exactly what it is. Yes. With taukla. Okay, excellent. Okay. So that solves that issue. So in the time that. It doesn't solve this accusative case because he saves us from okay, so maybe that's why there's accusative here, like he saves you from, but then what is this tune? This upon us. Okay, so this is ayodo. Okay, so at least, right? This is a iota here. This must be an epsilon. Upon us. Upon all of us, inclusive. because this do, I think, can be used with a preceding locative, which after a personal pronoun would simply be O. Superlative do, 312. Oh. No, that's clear in an Omicron. Yeah, no, it's clearly an Omicron. That's not been attested before. That combination. Only with the determiner. Nice, 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 nice. Okay, so we have a bunch of things. So this is epsilon iota Omicron. That makes it even worse, but because then what's here? Two letters. Would the letter missing here would be an alpha? Tacloa. Okay. Mike to Gu. Ektun maybe. Mike to Gu. Because no. Mike to this kappa makes no sense to me. Ektum okay, before that, let me just at least get a few things down. So this is 17, 18. This one inclusive personal pronoun with locative and superessive. This sequence has not been previously. This sequence has not been previously tested, but also not unlikely. And then there should be a reference to to come. With perfective present 2, 3 singular. Oh God, come on. N. Talk long. Talk time with vocative law. Talk law is an relative clause of time. Alrighty, so we got that, and then we also understand the beginning here. Just this. That spelling has been tested before. With an alpha. No. Previously unattested spelling of helper. That's just basically the same as here with predicate marker. Oh. This is basically C line. Was it line 14? Yeah. Translates Greek line. Let us adding the possessive pronoun. Okay. This folder, I'm not sure if that's even translated. Yeah. I mean, this also really looks like just a word space. not entirely clear. Affliction with plural. Go. And accusative. Couple. It's not entirely clear. The accusative is not entirely clear. Unclear. Also, this is maybe the translation of sfora, often or heavily. Ah, okay. So toen is a verb that means to suffer. So we who suffer affliction. Our maybe they also didn't understand the Greek very well, because the Greek is also weird. Our Savior. When in the time he comes, right, so that's the other thing. Mike to gu is clearly plural, but this is a singular form. So they're reinterpreting as the Savior who comes. So the singular form here suggests that the old Nubian translator interpreted this verb participle as referring to the two poetos rather than in agreement with. You see often that they don't really, these Greek relative constructions are kind of messed up. So that then opens the door for interpreting this as a verb, namely this verb tun, which takes the object, yes, exactly, accusative ka. So this is a relative clause again that precedes, which means that it what a crazy construction. So preceding relative clauses tunin, is this a new? Tunen? Could this be a new? If it is, then it must be. This must be an epsilon then. I mean, look at the space. Oh no. Doug. Yeah, no. We who suffer. Right, so our helper in the time that he comes upon us who suffer afflictions. I mean, that's the only way this kind of makes sense. I mean, they must have looked at the Greek and it's like, what the hell? Like how Enthlipsesin ties Rusais Hemas Svodra. Like, okay, assumptive pronouns. Okay, so they are preceding non-coreferential relative clauses in Nubian, but they're just not in my grammar. Okay, where did I write about this? 215b. I will have to look it up a bit later. Alright, Old Nubian relative clauses. Okay. Check article. Relative clauses. In Ottawa. About preceding relative clauses. So, I'm going to propose. Yeah, epsilon, iota, omicron. This is clear. This must be a nu. This must be an epsilon. I'm just not, like. That's just the only thing that I can think about right now as somehow making sense. So I was just gonna reconstruct that. So this is the direct object of tunen. We who suffer should that then have a plural yes, of course. Oh my god. This is so much better. This is an omicron. This is an epsilon. God. Oh, this is great. It's of course not third singular. It's first plural, and then you get. Yeah. Look. This is so clearly this must be it. That's just a really weird form. But that's the only thing I can think of actually. That's omicron epsilon. Or even better, if Okay. So this whole thing is okay, even better. This is not at all. So this is just nothing. This is the whole thing is a personal pronoun. We though. That makes so much sense. Because they also use the exclusive pronoun here, una. Okay, so this belongs here. This is not a thing. So that then means that we only have to interpret toen. Which we can then interpret as simply toen plus second, third singular. Nothing else. To suffer from affliction. Yeah, that must be it then. Otherwise, I don't know. I would have to check that article on the preceding relative clauses because this clearly is. Okay. So possibly the verb toen to suffer from following Nubian toen. Where do I have Khalil? Here. Page 106. Morphology unclear for the moment. Okay, but we now actually have this entire thing. And we can say something about clearly mistranslates the Greek original at the time he comes upon us who suffer afflictions. That's what it says. Amazing. I have to check because I have some meetings, but only at okay. Good. Now the question is, can we do something with this mess here? That's a future tense, looks like. Therefore, we will not fear. So this must be then men. That's the negative. Men Dia tuto u phobetesometa. We will not fear. This ends with tengen. Kai megatitus tai what? Oh, that's quite lengthy. Okay, so here is the break. So this. Okay. Therefore, we will need not fear when the earth is troubled. This is iskit. Earth is kut. Has it been attested with a iota in between? Not really. Oh yes, it has been. When the earth maybe a iota here. Tau. Gamma, maybe Omicron, maybe Epsilon, maybe rho is read here, maybe another rho. I'm just randomly guessing stuff at this point. Rho, another letter, some stuff. This must be where mountain. Wergu. Yeah, that's as much as we can read. think we have come to a little bit of the end of this little part. Just follow. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna. I mean, there's only one verb that's actually meaning to fear, and it's well attested, and so I'm just gonna put it here. The only issue is this form here, because it's it is we, but like that's not we, I think. That should be an Omicron. I. Okay, never mind. I mean, this is also kind of a weird form. I mean, previous line. This is Tengen dash dash Makan. No, this should be. Is it an Omicron? If this is an Omicron or maybe an Omega. Okay, then this should be this. I'm not. No, wait. This is what he had. Because this really looks like a row. This could be a mu. Yeah, this is an omega. Row. Die tot hoeven we dan? Oh, we'll have to think about this next time because the grammar is not entirely clear to me. Like what? So this is a future tense, but this is a future tense first singular. So that makes no sense. This looks like the negative here. But then ro here suggested we, so it's a correct translation of this. And then what's happening here with this tarosestai, this form here. This I don't know, and I'm also a little bit tired now, so I'm gonna leave this for the moment. We made great progress on these two verses, so I'm not unhappy. All right.